Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at ATEEZ's THANXX dance practice. Now with this song in particular, I am very familiar with it because about a year or so ago, probably around the time, maybe within the time that this came out, there was a couple choreographies that I had learned that used this song. I think about 3 choreographies to be exact. So I have 3 completely different perspectives of a choreographic intention of movement quality to this song, but I have not seen ATEEZ's take on it. So I am very excited to check it out. Hopefully, I mean, it's been long enough between when I learned those choreos to now I hopefully shouldn't have a certain level of expectation of certain timbres to be hit, but you never know with stuff like this. But we're gonna go ahead and check it out. I like that. What? That was nice. I love this part. You definitely see more refinement in their movement quality right now, and I am a fan. It's becoming consistent, which I love. It means we're getting on the same page choreographically, movement quality, understanding how our bodies work, power distribution. It went, woo! Now this is the part of the track I have not heard before. That's kind of cool. Is this a nice build? Nice. What we gonna bring? Come on, here we go. Came up so early. Very good job on the range of those arms. Wow. Okay. Before I say anything, I gotta go check something real quick, so please hold. Alright, so I'm back. Here's what I did. I wrote out a little sticky note of 5 members that I'm gonna try to guess in this video. So we have Jungho, San, Hongjung, Yoonho, and Mingi. Those are my 5. I'm gonna guess. Courtesy of Patreon for helping me out. They give me all the names, but we gotta start in moderation because my policy for marathons is I want to know at least half of the group before I finish my marathon. And I just finished XG today, so I'm 2 for 2 on knowing at least half with 17 and with XG. ATEEZ, I feel very behind, but we're gonna do this. Here we go. Hopefully I'll probably do it while we marathon, like while we analyze. Let's see. From the beginning here, I really like the choreography. I think it matches the track very well. Da 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 da. It's very playful, gimmicky, super fun. The energy right here is super enjoyable. I don't think my guy right here is any of my members that I just named, so I'm not gonna name him. He's not included, but I like that doo-doo-doo with the footwork. Is really nice choice as they build up the energy near the top. Super fun. Flipping it up, it gives that Spanish-y aesthetic to it, just like the guitar. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't know if that was a Spanish guitar. You let me know if that was, because that would make more sense. But if it wasn't, then I'm curious if there's a different type of connection to be making with this type of choreo, but I don't mind it. Now, this is San. I've always known San. I saw him from the Imagine Dragons set when he's very, very much built like a crumper at this point, is how I would call him. But we're still in the developmental phase of getting to his crump newness of form. So this is the unevolved version of San. But I can tell based on his power and movement quality, I'm able to pick him up anyway. That's how I was able to figure out who Dino was from 17. Was his movement quality stood out of all the members. So this is San. We know him. He doesn't count. Okay, moving on from him. I love the pool. It's interesting that he's able to do the triple 1, 2, 3, because normally, like, there's a stall out that sometimes happens when you go from the second to the third on anything. So it's really nice to see cohesion with all of that. I also really like the fact they're all wearing matching t-shirts. I think it's fun. The energy and presentation is really nice. And also some of the range on this could be a little bit more refined personally, but that's okay. Okay, he's wearing a bucket hat, but he could be so the one, I'm going to be honest, I think the one that I am the most insecure about finding is Yoonho out of my list of 5, which I feel pretty good. Like a 1 out of 5 that I feel like, it's going to be a shot in the dark. I'm going to say he's a contender. He's got a bucket hat on. I think Yoonho, I recognize his face enough. I don't know, but it's blurry. Look at the quality. It's like 720. Bless it. So it's going to be hard. Anyway, but I like how he's a nice little feature there. Everybody going down, kneading it through. I really feel like with the arms, we could have done a better job of refining instead of some of us have a discrepancy between the gap between the arms. So that would be something to note. I love the commitment here though. Some of us are having their arms up. Some are having it tuck in the hips. Just clarifying what's going to be cleaner there. Yeah, dun 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 dun. That's really fun. Great energy. I don't recognize him either. I don't know if he's another one. Hey, okay. This one right here is because he still has blue hair. I think that's why. This guy, I think, is our leader, Hongjun, because and when the guy who finished with the flag at the end also had blue hair. And blue hair don't just change overnight in an era. Trust. Sometimes certain colors just will not come out. For me, it was purple and red. I vibed with both, but and same with the blue, it feels just as vibrant. I don't feel like somebody else is diving into that as much. I think that is Hongjun. So we're gonna mark him off my list. San is marked off my list of he's been guessed. Hongjun, leader, blue. Boom, right there. That's who I'm guessing. Moving on. Yoonho, still a shot in the dark. Maybe we'll take another stab later. My guess is Mr. Bucket Hat. I could be very wrong. Please be gracious to me. Hopefully I'm right. That would be really fun. I'd be very impressed with myself. But I love that. Hey, ha ha ha. And I love that little gimmick there. And I like that, ha ha, with a little vibration or reverb right there. And they go do 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 do. It's interesting they're all making different choices with the punches. But it honestly kind of looks like that they're supposed to do the same thing. Yeah, it looks like they're supposed to do the same thing. So that would just be a make sure everybody's on the same page of not moving their bodies in ways that are going to operate against the intricacies of the upper body. Because it looked like everybody was supposed to be doing the same thing, but we were just a little bit off on the range and the timing. So that would just be an overall refinement note to give. Now, I love that they take this and they transition it out. I do love that. I do feel like we are showcasing better spacing between this group and this line versus this line in our back line. So I would say this group, either this group needs to move up a little bit more forward or this back group needs to travel a little further back in order for it to be equal spacing between the three groups. That pum 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 pum. I love that. It's really fun. It's gimmicky. It's theatrical. I think it's really enjoyable. That little I like hitting that. Everybody use the body, the boom, boom, boom on the triple. Really impressive. I love that. That little choo-choo-choo, that was cute. And then everybody had more playing on the ears, something of that nature. A little cha hitting there. Very nice, personable. Okay, deep voice rapper. That's what I was told. Deep voice, Mingy. He has a very deep voice. It's a very distinguishable voice, especially because I've heard the discography of ATEEZ without realizing who ATEEZ was for years previous to me even starting this entire journey. So his voice is very distinct. I can pick it up. I can pick it out of anybody's voices as his. So I have some confidence. Patreon said Mingy had a deep voice. His sounds pretty deep. That's a very safe call for me. I'm marking out Mingy deep voice. Now, I have two more on my list. Yoonho still shot in the dark. Still going with bucket hat at this point in time. I could change my mind. We'll see. But moving on from here, I love the uses of the backup dancers here. But even though for them, making sure that we are on the same page, it needs to cover the eyes or be wherever your performer is. That's just going to make life a lot easier. The step outs are really nice though. I love that where he goes out and they go down to the side and out and down to the side. That was fun. I love that do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, and it turns into a subtle cannon. I really like that choice too. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Gracias. Oh, hold on. New person, enter the chat. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, your face is so blurry. Okay, my gut just went Jess, contender. This may be Yoonho. Possibly. Here's the thing. I saw Yoonho do a cover, like a dance cover, back in their pre-debut stuff from KQ Fellas. They had a Yoonho solo. So I saw his face in HD there. But alas, I had not been picking up on a Yoonho for about 14 reactions now, because we're in pretty deep. We're close to about halfway if we're not even, I'm not including B-sides. I'm talking about just the regular dance practices. Yoonho, okay, guys, I'm gonna say it now, but I may lock it in at the end. I'm switching my answer from Mr. Bucket Hat to Mr. Ponytail with the brown. I think my guy right here with the shoes that I think do a little slip and slide on the floor. My guy right here with the remote man. I think that's Yoonho. That's what my gut's telling me. I'm gonna go with that. If I'm wrong, you can tell me, and I'll try again. But this is actually part of it's really fun, is being able to figure out who these people are. Okay. I like the energy of this. You're definitely able to see more refinement here in their synchronicity. I love seeing progress there because a couple of things mean, this is what it means. Number one, they're starting to figure out their identity as a group. Regardless if it's lore, concept, fan base support, whatever, they're figuring out what works for them, right? Because you're seeing them pursue similar avenues regardless of timbre, tonal color, genre, overall context, concept change. The underlying fundamental or foundations of their content is going to have some overlap in fingerprints that can come from resident choreographers. We've noticed the trend that groups that have resident choreographers or choreographers that they work with regularly or more intimately than just somebody coming in doing a crew, doing a skeleton crew format, you tend to have more of a natural cohesion between your dancers, like your performers or who your members are with each other. So I'm very much a fan of seeing that here. Second thing would be, actually I think I answered both. So the first is it shows, whenever they're more clean. Oh, second thing is they have a team set up to where they're figuring out what works best for them in terms of cleanliness and turnaround time. They're able to you have more confidence behind the choices. We also see that they tend to look more comfortable doing choreography now during this era as well. I do still see some slipping and sliding, but this one is very minor in comparison to other times where I'm like, yo, we need to put some hairspray on them boots to get some traction going, because that's fun fact. Like jazz shoes, if you're slippery, put on some put hairspray, squeeze a little bit of that on your jazz shoes, golden on the traction side. And then in ballet, there's something called rosin, and it's like this little rock, but it can convert down to a powder. That's a really nice thing that you use, and dancers use that to help with traction on the floor. Anyway, but I love the energy here. I do notice with my guy, my feature right here, I feel that he had a little bit of tension in the shoulders for that section. If he lowered it a little bit, I think he would have felt more comfortable. There's our leader. Our leader is Hongjun. I think that's our leader right there. Cool. Awesome. Ha! Mr. High Note. I called him Mr. High Note in the Wonderland. Wonderland, I called him Mr. High Note, and then I asked for his name in the Win thing. Someone gave it to me. This is Jong Ho, Mr. High Note. I have very high confidence that I am correct with him. So out of anything, even if I'm wrong with everybody else, I know San and I know Jong Ho. Now, whether or not I'm going to remember their names, I know their superlatives in my brain more so than I will know their names. But eventually, the names will come to pass to match the energy. But Mr. High Note is very distinct to find because of where he stands, but also his tone and how he presents himself forward. All of it's great. So moving on from here. Thank you very much, everybody. I love that energy there. But notice San, he lets go. Look, I'm starting to name call now. San over here tends to tilt his head back a little bit too much for that part. So I would have suggested to just kind of refine that a little bit more. Moving on from here. Now I'm saying this, he's my question. Yoonho, maybe. But here's the thing, if I'm wrong, tell me who it is. And then I'll learn a new person. There we go. Okay. And that moving it over, I love that little moment with the hand. That was a cool moment there. I love that. That was a little syncopated. That was fun. Really fun. Great way to utilize the groove and let it take up more time than just having to switch up the complexity, but still make the syncopation a little bit different so it helps keep and captivate attention. Yeah, and throw. There we go. My guy right here. This is Mingi. Mingi? One of the two. Anyway, I love that. The energy. The throw. Waving it through. I really like the wave there. Having the energy over to the side. I love having the reverse doom to kind of respond. And he's the only one that doesn't respond in that way. So it helps us keep clocked in on him as our feature. Love the tapping. Boom, boom, boom. Tension traveling from the top of the body all the way down regardless of where they are. Great choice. I love that. Yeah, super fun. Taking it through. I love the triple. It is pretty hard to hit that consistently because for me, my body gets pretty fatigued when I learn choreography or I drill it. So sometimes when I have to do a triple hit personally, it is really tricky to make sure that I'm engaging the right muscles because sometimes those are going to be the first ones that give out, or the ones that are kind of like the pistons or the sprinting muscles, or the ones where it feels like you're on a sprint. Those are the ones that will give out first when it comes to refinement of texture. So it's very impressive for him to have this energy. Doesn't surprise me, but I see it. I love having this moment of him kind of shaking his head down and then having San respond out of it. That pull was really nice, having the transition over into Hongjun, our leader. This was really fun. I love this moment. Probably, this is one of my favorite moments of the whole track is this. Da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da. Commitment of everybody, and they're framing it very well, having some midline representation as well as our top tier, but then having your feature here in the center, using a hand to help pinpoint it. I know they're walking around, probably fan service. Yay for all of our fans over here. That's probably what's happening. But I know because a lot of you guys are saying what ATEEZ is known for is walking away, and they use that time to hang out with fans. So I do appreciate that, and that's very applicable for the live performances, which is why I don't talk about it as much anymore. The beauty of marathons is that once I learn something new, I'm able to refine my feedback accordingly so I see things in a more accurate light faster than just picking and choosing all the really cool routines. I like seeing them all. Yep. And then right there, boom, really nice on the hinge, bringing it back up. Then he's building it down, using the shoulders, but everybody's representing with that, so that's super fun. That was fun on the commitment side, enjoyable on that. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da, yes, sir. And then we have our dancers coming in the back. Yes, sir. I love that, yes, sir. And then he goes, gracias. Gracias means thank you in Spanish. Which signifies the potential of a Spanish car in the beginning. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this, guys. It's fun, the connection. I really do like this choreo. That bun, da-na-na-da-da-da-da. Really nice rock and bounce to that. It's fun. Pulling around, boom, a lot of resistance. I appreciate that. Great choice of the transition where they get to have their own individual moment, but there's still refinement because everybody's rotating to the same degree of a transition in their spot. No one's transitioning like so obviously far or obviously in place. So that was nice. That's what makes those work. Love it. having San have his moment that here and accent usage of French. That's what I like whenever sometimes features have their hair down, is you're able to see and catch a lot of the reverbs or moments because their hair gives it away. It's just fun. This is Jungho, Mr. High Note. Love it. Love it how he's here and he just gets to have this. That's fun. There we go. This is San, we know him. And that was fun. It just feels like they're really enjoying the transitions more in this one than sometimes transitions are there for the sake of it. Here it feels like the transitions matter as much as the content. And that's a good signal too, that we're vibing well with the choreography as a whole and they've got a good team working on this with them too. So, love it. Oh, I do feel like Mingi, our Mr. Low voice right here, I felt like he didn't quite catch that last little syncopation, which it could be because he blew out all his pistons doing that triple hit earlier on. I'm just kidding, but notice right here, that part he's lagging just a little bit compared to Hongjun. Yeah, did you notice that? He didn't quite catch that last hit in the back, so that's just something I'm noticing. He's lagging a little bit, and you can tell, but I appreciate that at least in the upper body, we're still seeing full commitment. Having that moment, little wave, do-do-do-do-do. Love the moment here. That's like boom, shh, boom, shh, boom. Shh. Is it saying Hajima? Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't even see the lyrics. I like the add-on. That was nice. It's simple but effective because when you do a lot of complexity on your track, sometimes it's nice to have simplicity. But if you have too much simplicity, yeah, you're kind of eager to see the complex and vice versa. You can't have too much of one thing in order for people to remain captivated through the whole track. You know what I mean? It's nice for even like for me, I'm even though I've seen a lot of their content, I still try to view them all in the sense of, okay, if I'm looking at this in isolation, yes, I understand there's certain key factors that happen, maybe with injuries, maybe with certain preferences that the group has, knowing how long they've been pursuing a movement quality within the style. I understand those things more and it helps me refine my feedback, but it doesn't change the overall, is this effective? Does it work? Does it not work? You know, like it doesn't change the main things of what this analysis would be about. It just refines it to make it more accurate, you know, because I'm understanding the context of what I'm watching more accurately than if I was just looking at this randomly on a Tuesday and I hadn't seen all 14, 15 of their group choreographies prior to this. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of the marathons. I love the build out here, and I'm going from high to low, really like that, and then bringing it through. I like that movement here and that just that choice that Jungho chose to do, where he used his arm. Everybody went from low to high. I enjoyed that moment. Peeling it away, we now have Mingi. He made that little mistake over there so he could rev up and go pa 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 with his body and his face in this moment. Really nice. And then we have Hongjun, our leader, hanging out near the front. Boom. I love this right here, this energy that they both give. I know they're both known as rappers as well. I know Mingi is definitely one of the rappers. I would say our leader. I've seen him talked about more as a leader, but also potentially a rapper. You let me know if I'm right on that. San, point, my guy. Point to project yourself forward. There's Mr. High Note, Mr. Jungho. Love the ponies that branch it out with a military Easter egg. That does remind me of Wonderland a little bit, but in the sense of just like the ponies is what it reminds me of in the branching out. But they went into more of a, not quite a diagonal or a V, but notice that we are seeing way more attempts at getting it together in the choreo here, bringing it around. That was a nice little wow, bringing it over. I know I made a note a couple of reactions ago about whenever they choose to do that leg and punch it out, they did struggle at the time I talked about it to finish and close it. Here is a good example of what I meant of, you see it closed now, right? Yeah, notice that boom, boom, boom. I'm used to seeing that kick to the ball change because it feels more complete. So that was just, it could have just been a choreography thing and it just didn't match as well as it could have been. But this is where it's effectively applied, and I see growth in that area. I like that boom, doon, doon, doon. I love that energy here, and then they're gonna see that little corner pop up real quick. That's really nice to notice that we're building it up even more, and even San is just revs up the energy at that part specifically, and I love that. And I know my guy right here, it seems like he's starting to look a little fatigued. I noticed him. And that's the downside when you have such powerful performers, so that it looks like they never get tired. You're able to have other people stick out a little bit too much whenever they start to get fatigued. So I just noticed that right there. Maybe have him move to a different spot, not sure, or have San tone it down a little bit. But honestly, it's way better to ask somebody. Well, honestly, it's easier. I'll put it this way. It's easier to ask somebody who has too much energy to dial it back down versus asking somebody who has no energy to rev the energy up. But it also depends on just the performance side. It's just harder to ask of that, which is why a lot of choreographers prefer to work with people who are like unhinged a little bit, who have a lot of energy to give, because we can refine it as our job, right? But it is harder to pull energy out of people. It takes a lot longer to get that safe environment for people to pursue that. But that has nothing to do with this. This is more so a fatigue thing, because he's been doing a great job of holding it down nonetheless. But all that to say, just learning to appropriately put energy in the right focal points of your choreography so you can sustain in your stamina longer in these types of practices. I like the dancers are still going there. Nice energy as they frame it back out. I love the dancers framing the outside and having our guys on the inside. I love this. This is actually very impressive for them to really hit this in the full range. You could tell they're all focusing on what's going on in that back. I love to see that, having the energy of San, then having the energy here. This right here, I'm still gonna guess this is Yunho. I could be totally wrong. If it was Bucket Hat, I'm gonna be a little mad at myself, but hey, I got so many to keep trying and figuring it out. But I love that energy here. Da-da-cha, da-da-cha, let's go. Da-da, da-da. And I like the little wave there. Everybody's doing it. All of our dancers go bye-bye. They go boom, little hair. Hey, we just did that. Bye-bye now. And they are finished. Guys, this was pretty good. We're starting to see a pretty consistent workflow from ATEEZ, whether it's with the backup dancers or not. But it's still really, really fun to see because we're able to focus on other aspects outside of the cleanliness. We get to see the layers, the levels, and the dynamics represented and get to kind of hang out and vibe and talk more about those in comparison to in the past. So that's really fun for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I am just having a blast. When I do K-pop marathons with groups, it's just so fun for me because I get to learn about a whole entire fan base, especially on Patreon. But I also get to experience just playing a little guessing game too, figuring out just names to faces and movement qualities. It's just really fun for me to be able to do that, but also getting to see the growth of dancers, them as dancers as a whole, as well as just their pursuit of different concepts and which ones work for them and which ones do they figure out matches their identity as a group and their aesthetic. And I just find a lot of fun with that. So if you want to see more content like ATEEZ, I have so much of it on Patreon that is still there hanging out. At the time that this one gets released on YouTube, I'll probably be done with my ATEEZ marathon, which means I got a lot more reactions that are locked and loaded, ready to be released. But that always means that ATEEZ has to have comebacks in order for these reactions to be released in the wild of YouTube. That's what makes it really fun and enjoyable. But if you're somebody who likes to binge things and is impatient like myself, Patreon is right there. Perfect opportunity to go and binge to your heart's content. It will be there waiting to hang out with you there. Once again, I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!